running around the campus, going to the Chamber of Commerce and so forth.
Yeah, we saw your schedule. We were wondering
very
if you had
tight.
time to breathe on here.
No, then I do. It's kind of used to this pace.
Whenever
It's
you're ready,
difficult.
Ray.
Okay. Can you give us a pronunciation of your name?
Of course,
please?
Karagozoglu.
Okay.
It's very easy.
Could you do it one more time?
It's Karagozoglu.
Okay. And you graduated from Ball State, what year, bachelor's degree?
In 1983.
1983.
That's right. And then I received my MBA in 1985.
1985. You stayed here through those 2 years, or did you leave and come back, or how did it work?
Well, actually, I was right after finishing my undergraduate in 1983 at Ball State. I just went through the MBA program, and I was a graduate assistant in the marketing department for 2 years. So after I completed my MBA, I took a job with the Turkish government and then went back.
This is your first time back to Ball State?
That's right.
Since you left?
First time back in 6 years.
Everything look the same, or are there some changes?
There are some changes. Well, first of all, I don't recognize anyone walking around. And there's been a lot of construction going on, a lot of new facilities has gone up. And there's been just physical change in the environment, and of course the academics have changed. There are now new professors that I've had a chance to meet. And as I understand, the enrollment has gone up to about 19,000 people, and that's a change. And I was very impressed with the new international movement at Ball State, where there's so much interest now for other countries and other regions of the world.
How did you find out about Ball State and get interested enough to come here?
Well, Ball State, of course, is this is a very interesting story because my father graduated from Ball State University when it was a teacher's college back in the early 1960s. So I was here with him. We were as a family in the early 60s, and when it was time for me to come, I was invited by a family here from Muncie, and they've given me a lot of support for the first year of my education, and that's how I decided to continue on with Ball State. And as I completed my undergraduate, I decided to go on an MBA program as well. So,
What has it meant to you at Ball State University, and now that you've been away for a few years?
it has meant a lot. It is a not very widely known school. So when I had a chance to talk to Americans traveling abroad or in Turkey, Ball State, the name Ball State really was not recognized. But now I find out that this time I'm in the United States, it's very widely known because of the sporting activities. And I was very thrilled about that because now I didn't have to tell that Ball State was in Muncie, Indiana, that everybody knew how successful we were. And as an alumni, of course, that was a very flattering thing to hear. But academically, as I see more people, especially in other parts of the United States, it's now quite common to run into an alumni of Ball State. I haven't met anyone in the international business area, but I'm sure if I look up in an alumni book, I will be able to find someone in some other country.
Okay. Are you here for a 3-month visit on the Eisenhower
That's right.
program? Where are you stopping and what are you doing?
Well, this is it's a very special program. It involves basically an exchange program where you have to travel to different cities in the United States, basically to meet with people from different areas, such as could be politicians, government people, state officials, business people. And the purpose is, of course, to exchange views and ideas, talk about current issues and how those current issues are affecting life in the United States or world issues and so forth. So it's a very rewarding experience. And once the fellowship program is completed, I will be joining the group of former fellows, of about 800 former fellows, Eisenhower fellows, which enables me to continue on with a network of individuals from different countries. This year there are 21 fellows from different countries, and as I said, it is an exchange program. It involves Americans to travel abroad. So last year we received an American Eisenhower Fellow, and this year we will be receiving another fellow from the United States, and he will do the same thing, travel around Turkey to exchange views and ideas.
What is the foreign trade situation in Turkey? Who are your biggest partners? Is it West Germany and the U.S.? Or?
That's right. As a matter of fact, those are among the first three. U.S., Germany, and Italy are major trading partners. And there are some trading partners in the Middle East as well. We do have a trade deficit, but our imports and exports are increasing tremendously in the last 10 years. And our trade relations with the United States has been looks very promising. We have about a $3 billion trade volume with the United States. It is to the disadvantage of Turkey, but as I said, our exports are increasing at a higher pace.
Turkey's stand before the war in the Gulf and during the war in the Gulf, how do you think that has helped either U.S. views of Turkey or internationally? Has it helped as far as trade goes?
As far as trade goes, this is very difficult to measure because, after all, it is an opportunity loss, and it's often difficult to measure that. But there are some direct effects, of course. I can say that the shutdown of the pipeline has affected our balance of trade and balance of payments. The loss of some tourism revenues has affected us. The overall recession because of the Gulf War has affected our trade volume as well. But on the other hand, if we look at the positive side of this, we were able to place Turkey on the map worldwide. And I think it's now more people know where Turkey is located geographically than they did before the war. And especially considering that Turkey is in a very strategic location. And as an ally of the United States, of course, we had to act in parallel to our interest in that region.
Were you involved in that decision to shut the pipeline off?
No, not at all. I was, as I said, I'm on the trade promotion side, so I was later on involved in promoting trade in many other ways with different countries. As a matter of fact, right after the crisis, the Gulf crisis, we did a study on what other markets are available after some type of a crisis action, so that we inform our exporters to go to different directions.
How do things get back to normal? Is the pipeline open yet or not?
It is not open yet, and things will not go back to normal as far as we can see until there's a change in the regime and some other problems are eliminated. And it will be some time before things go back to normal, I suppose.
Future prospects then look pretty bright as far as Turkey in the international marketplace?
I think so. We have lots of potential, and since we're very strategically located there's lots of opportunities not only for Turkish products, but as well as for other products where Turkey could be used as a base for production and for distribution. When you consider that Turkey is very close in proximity to the Middle Eastern market, to the Soviet Union, as well as Eastern European countries, I think it will serve as a good base for production. Presently, there are 3 or 4 other projects that basically keeps us optimistic about the future of our strengths. One is the Black Sea Economic Union, which involves Soviet Union, Romania, Bulgaria, and Turkey. And it is a project that it's been drafted now, and once it's completed, it'll involve trade activities between these 4 countries.
To be kind of a free trade? Or
the intent is that way, yes.
Okay. Similar to the European
yes.
community?
It will be a free trade agreement.
That's in the works now?
It's in the works now, and it's being drafted, so we don't know what will come out, but it's something that is supported by our government.
What were the other?
The other project that we're working on now is the Southeast Anatolian project, which involves the building of a numerous number of dams in Turkey, and the 4th biggest dam in the world is the Atatürk Dam, which will double through the irrigation Turkey's production of agricultural products. And Turkey is one of the 5 to 6 countries that are self-sufficient in agricultural products with food. So that will give you an idea how much that area will contribute to our resources. Another project that is based in Turkey, and the starting point is Turkey, and I think that is worth mentioning, is the Peace Pipeline, Water Peace Pipeline project. Then that involves basically transferring the waters of Turkey to the Middle East, to the Gulf countries with pipelines. And it's somewhere around a $20 billion project. It involves Turkey as well as many other countries in that area.
Does that make Turkey a little bit more powerful in the region, that access to that water?
Well, water is I think important, and it is perhaps important as oil, and it will of course be a good opportunity for Turkey to share its resources with other countries.
How bad did that closing the pipeline? How bad did that really hurt the Turkish economy?
Well, let me tell you this, it is difficult to break down specifically the cost, but Turkey's loss since August has been somewhere around $6 to $7 billion.
And most of that is Iraqi money that has been lost, or is it other?
As I said, it is the business that is lost. So it is either the pipeline, the lost tourism revenues, products that have been sent to Iraq but never collected, and just basically cancellation of orders for export products and so forth. And of course, the oil prices has gone up, and that has put a big burden on our budget as well.
Are you aware of any other refugee situation in the eastern part of your country? Is it, do you know of anything new as far as aid or refugee camps or anything like that?
Well, since I've been away for some time, I'm trying to follow up on what is really going on. And of course that has put us, our government, in a very big burden, financially speaking, because it is difficult to host the refugees, as it may be. Talking about proportions, and just to give you an idea, when we make it a similar case in the United States, this would involve about 5 million refugees trying to come into the United States, just to give you an idea of how big the situation is. And of course, that would be a very difficult thing to do. And when we want to do something, we would like to do it right. And and we don't feel that we can and feed and take care of these people adequately because of lack of resources. And unfortunately, that part of the country is not adequate to give such services, and that's why they've been having problems even transporting them in that particular area. And we hope that with the assistance that we will receive from other countries will help in eliminating this problem.
Okay, very good. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
It's very
Okay.
Should just maybe walk over.
So that's fine. Let me take a look around. This part of campus hasn't changed a lot. Except the fact that